what we thought is that we have to add something else, to prevent this mitochondrial damage, and that is what we are going to focus on in the future to see whether if we able to prevent or if we're able to give some kind of mitochondrial regeneration. We're able to see the macrophage polarization from M1 to M2. That's what we are trying to investigate now recently. And further, when we saw, so as I said in the previous experiment where we used the L012, the one that detects the hydrogen peroxide in the inflammatory tissues. So we assess the same here, and you can see that LPS treatment compared to the non-LPS, there is no fluorescence. But when you treat with LPS, there is a huge fluorescence of this, and we see there is huge production of hydrogen peroxide. But when we treat with HAPB, we found there is a huge reduction of this luminescence, which means that there is a huge reduction in the hydrogen peroxide. And moreover, what we did is that we took the cells from this peritoneum region and we did a flow cytometry analysis. And what we found was the interesting thing is that the level of monocytes, macrophages, and neutrophils were elevated in LPS treatment once. But when we treat with HAPB, they were drastically, they have reduced the level of monocytes and macrophages and neutrophil infiltration in those tissues. So as I said before, so during systemic inflammation, there is a huge influx of these macrophages, monocytes and neutrophils to the site of infection. So if we able to prevent this, then we will to prevent the systemic inflammation and sepsis. So that's what we found here, is that with the treatment of HAPV, we found a huge reduction in this influx of these neutrophils to the site of inflammation. And the final conclusion is simple, is that when we treat with LPS, you have a huge production of hydrogen peroxide, and therefore you have a huge influx of M1 macrophages, monocytes, and neutrophils. But when you treat with LPS and the HAPV together, the hydrogen peroxide basically they degrade, and due to which you have a huge reduction in the M1 macrophage, monocytes, and neutrophils. So that's the final slide, and that's the end of my investigation in peroxide scavenging. And future we going to try to different. You're going to we currently started a startup company, and we are producing this nanoparticles more, and we want to go for a clinical trial soon. So yeah, so that's the end of my presentation. So and yeah, I'm open for any kind of questions now.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightening session. Now the session is open for the queries. Students, you can ask your questions in chat box or else ask directly.
Kalash, I'm so happy.
Oh, sir.
So proud of you. How are you?
How are you, sir? I didn't expect that you would be here. Oh my God. I can't believe that you are here. Oh, sir, how are you, sir?
Fine.
I just want to tell everyone that he is my Guruji. Actually, he taught me everything about research, publications, and about animal models and everything. So he's the starting point of my research career. So thank you so much for being here, sir.
Okay. I'm so proud of you. You're working as a professor in UK, assistant professor in UK. Yes. Nice work, nice presentation. I have missed somewhat so many slides, but unfortunately I cannot be able to watch you. I will catch you later. Okay. Anyway, nice presentation. Final slide. I got some information regarding that mitochondrial, peroxidation studies. Okay. So in this final, can I let me know that final slide, please?
Yes, sir. Here, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
You have pointed out that significance. Above, below. The significance bar in dot S. What is the the NS non-significant? No, that.
Yes, basically there is no significant difference between the LPS and the treatment groups we found in the M2 macrophage populations.
Okay, fine. But I thought that it is a single star, double star, triple star, something like that. So,
No, sir.
okay. Okay, yes, Kailash, nice presentation. Thank you for being as our alumni and presenting and sharing your research experience in our current student. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's nice to hear from you, sir. Thank you so much. It's been
Thank you,
quite long.
Pani sir, for the interaction. Thank you, Pani sir. Sir, and one question is there in chat box, sir. How do you keep tracking this nanoparticle?
How do you keep track of this nanoparticle? So